Next up is the quarter scale bust of Carolyn Munro from the Golden Voyages of Sinbad. This can be purchased from Monsters in Motion, just like the core model is available. And this arrived about halfway through working on the core model. So I figured, I'd probably work on both of these, one right after the other. Kind of like the quarter scale, anyways. So this was a good opportunity to work on both busts. So this is just fresh in from the mail. Um, Very good likeness of Carolyn Monroe, um, and it's actually it's actually in pretty good shape in terms of cleanup. Just a little bit of cleanup here and there, but not a heck of a lot, I think. Um, the base itself, it's a different color base. I kind of like the pink and gray going on, and when you flip it over, you see a skull on the underside. Too bad it's probably going to be sitting down like this, so you won't see that skull. But still, it's interesting, different. Again, just a little bit of cleanup on this too. So I probably spent about 5 minutes or so of cleaning up this because it's they did a really good job of casting it. Um, so off camera, I had already installed some magnets in here. That way, I can just put the base, put the figure onto the base, um, and got nice magnetized for it. So, like I said, just a little bit of cleanup involved. Once that's done, I'll prime it, and then we'll come back and take a look at painting the figure and the base. I'm not, I have to take a look at the base. I'm not 100% sure what this base color is going to be just yet. It may end up just being a brown color, like the core model was. Um, Down here, I might end up painting this black and use some bone color for that skull. Kind of cracks me up. I don't know if all of them are going to come this way, or if it was just the first run of this particular model that includes a skull on the bottom. But an interesting, it's an interesting addition onto it, even though most of the time you won't even know it's there, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll come back. It'll be primed, and we'll start painting her. So I got the flesh pretty much completed. Now I'll go over the steps that I used to get to this point. So the first step was to prime everything gray. Once that was dry, I then used this violet red as a undertone in all areas of the skin. That includes these parts of the arm, as well as the face and the upper torso. Once that was dry, I then used this medium flesh tone for the shadowed areas, like underneath the breast area, her chin, as well as her neck region and some of the areas around her eyes. I then used the Steinres light flesh color and applied that on the way down so that it added a little bit of shadowing to it. And then once that was dry, I then flat coated it and then used this skin color for freckling. So I got freckles on her face and her upper torso. And then I flat coated that. And then I started to apply my washes, starting with the blue wash using this primary cyan color. Once that was dry, I flat coated that. Then I used a yellow wash, this primary yellow. And then finally a red wash, cadmium red. And now it's been flat coated, and this is pretty much where we stand here. I might tweak it a little bit, but I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks at this stage. So the next step is to address her eyes, her lips, her eyebrows, and then of course her hair. I'm probably going to leave this, well, I haven't quite decided, but I might end up addressing this last before I start going with her hair. Her hair covers a lot of her backside, as you can see. So yeah, this is a good spot where we're at right now. So when I come back, I'll show you the progress I'm making with her upper torso. Sometimes when it comes to skin color, I'm not really sure if I nailed it correctly or not until I start adding the face in, and then I start looking at my reference material online. And I think I nailed it. I think I got the skin color the way it matches Carolyn Munro in the movie, The Golden Voyages of Sinbad. Um, and then once I added, her eyes for sure, I think I got it pretty much the way it should be. So for colors, for her lips, I ended up going with the beige red, and her teeth, I used a ivory color. Then for her eyes, it was a combination of old rose and white gray. And then around her eyes, I used a little bit of black to give her to highlight her eyelashes. And then for her hair, I ended up using this craft brown. And then I dry brushed this beige brown. And then I went back and made a wash of the brown again, and just put it on before I sealed it. And I think I got it pretty close to the way I want it to be from the movie. So what's left is her necklace and her shirt. And to be honest, the necklace is pretty straightforward. That's going to be gold color. So that's just going to be black, and then I'll add gold on top of it. Her shirt's a different question. I really couldn't find a good reference for that in the movie, and I'm thinking the one I'll probably go with is making it a red shirt with a blue outline around here, around the opening on her arms as well. I think that's probably the closest I'll get to um, the actual movie clips. To be honest, she had a couple of different costumes. One was a really complex color option that I'm not going to paint. So I just want this to be simple in color. So once I get that done, she will be, at least the torso will be done, and then I'll have to work on the base. So I'll come back, I'll show you the progress I made with the figure. So I rewatched the Golden Voyages of Sinbad and realized I had her eye color wrong. It's not blue, it's a brown color, so that was an easy fix. Now, as far as her shirt is concerned, I ended up going with the Georgia clay color. That seemed to be closest to the actual color. So what's interesting about watching the movie is her costume changes about three-quarters of the way through when everybody is in the cavern, and she gets carried off by a one-eyed centaur. Um, Her costume is red, and then it has blue and white striping around the edges. However, when Sinbad is saving her, suddenly that costume's gone, and it's replaced with this Georgia clay color. The blue and white striping is gone. And I swear, even Sinbad's costume has changed too. Um, I have to rewatch it, but I think it also changed. So it was definitely a problem with them not really using the same costume for some strange reason. If you're not paying attention, you probably wouldn't have noticed it, but I thought it was kind of funny actually. So what I did was I did the Georgia gray, and then I did a little bit of shadowing just using some black pastels. Now, as far as her necklace is concerned, this is the best I could come up with, which is mostly gold. So I ended up using gold. And then for the jewelry, I used the Turbo Dork color. So I went with red drum for red, green. I ended up going with Gordian knot. The purple was the People Eater color, and then for blue, went with Cool Ranch. So now that's done. The last thing to do is the base. And to be honest, I don't think the base is going to take very long because there really isn't much in the way of coloring going on here. So I'll have to figure out what to do on the underside here. But this base, I honestly think, is just going to be a brown base. Maybe a little bit of washes on it, but it's not really going to be too complex. So we come back, I'll go over what I did with the base. Okay, so I got the base done, and this is what it looks like. So I'll go over the colors that I used. I honestly couldn't figure out if this was supposed to be sand, stone, or what it was. So I went with the tan earth, and then I used the ochre brown as a dry brush on it. Then I used a wash using my craft brown color and just washed that all over. Now on the underside where the skull is, I started off with a bleached bone, and then I used the pallid bone, and then I just dry brushed the bleached bone after that. And then I just used a flat black on the underside. So that's where it stands right now. And quite frankly, you're not going to see the underside anyways. Um, so it's pretty much done, except for I need to let the paint dry on the underside here. Probably another 10 minutes or so. And then I'm going to apply a flat coat on top and just protect it. And pretty much we're going to call this done. So when I come back, I'll show you what the model looks like completed. Okay, guys, so here's Carolyn Munro from the Golden Voyages of Sinbad, now completed. Again, I had mentioned earlier that I wasn't 100% sure if the skin tones matched, even after watching the movie. But once I get the face in and her hair done, I realized that I made the right choice for the skin tones after all. And again, you got to watch the movie to understand that this costume that she has on at this point that the bust is presenting is really towards the end of the movie. So in the scene, she gets carried away by a one-eyed centaur, and before she gets carried away, her costume is a red shirt with blue and white striping around the edges. And then Sinbad goes in to rescue her, and suddenly she has a different costume on. And I swear Sinbad's costume changes also in the movie in the same scenes, where I think I swear he had a dark turban, and then it's suddenly a white or a light gray turban. Whatever. The movie was made back in '73. They were probably just rushing to get the movie out into the movie theaters at the time. So the production values weren't the greatest. Really, the part that makes the movie is the Harryhausen, Muppet type characters or stop motion characters. It's before Star Wars, so hey, it is what it is. As a kid, the first time I watched it, I thought it was great. But now, as an adult, I watch it and I'm like, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, I like how the figure turned out. I really liked it. I like the color choices that I made. And more importantly, I really like that it captures the movie itself. I think the sculpt is outstanding. If you got a good sculpt, the paint job really goes easy. And I think that's the case here. I really like the expression on her face. And it sort of captures, I think it captures probably the one scene where the centaur is about ready to grab her and she's looking up at the centaur. Um, and I think that's maybe the intention with this particular sculpt. But in any case, I really enjoyed it. It's an easy, it's a really easy paint job to do, believe it or not. Not as difficult, but it takes a little bit of planning. And again, I'm not too sure about the underside where you have the skull embedded on the underside. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Again, watching the movie, I would have probably taken a different symbol from her. Like in the, when she holds up her palm, you can see there's an eye in her palm, a painted eye in her palm. I probably would have put that on the underside because that really would be more in line with her character. Um, but be that as it may, I thought I thought it came out pretty well, and I enjoy it. So until next time, stay safe and join me on my next modeling adventure.
It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.